There is no compulsion in Islam. I've seen some videos where some super mullahs are running around and asking people if they fasted or not. It's not your job. Even to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, God said in the Quran, you are just a warner, not there to control them. And in the Quran, Allah said, if I wanted everyone to believe, I would have made everyone a believer. Faith is a matter between the believer and God. Who knows who is loved more by God and who not? It is possible that a mullah is praying his whole life, reading the Quran his whole life, but still got no wisdom out of it because Allah didn't allow him. And it is possible that someone read the Quran for the first time and got more wisdom than any other. That's up to God. Nowadays, there are Islamic countries like Iran, Afghanistan and others where there are mullahs running around and forcing people into believing a certain faith. It's not your job. So stop running around and forcing people to believe in what you believe. God made the Quran pretty easy to understand. Even Allah says in the Quran is easy to understand if you want to act accordingly. It's just a sensual translation. If Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that you are just a warner, who are you to run around and ask people how they live their faith? Faith is something which is just between the person, the individual and God. You never know. Even though you are a mullah or whatever you are a super Muslim, whatever you never know how much someone is loved by God. It is possible that you are a mullah for 50 years, practicing and praying and reading the Quran every day, but still there is someone who has never done anything Islamic, but is loved more by God just because he's an honest man and never did any hypocrisy. Nowadays, there are a lot of Islamic countries where there is a forced Islam and punishment if you do something un-Islamic. It's not your job. I mean, they created laws. You mullahs are the reason why people started hating Islam. You know why? Everything which is forced will never be understood. And Islam is not up to be forced. Islam is to be understood. You know, the more people understand the truth and realize the truth by their way they live, the more they will love it. But the more you force them to understand Islam, the more they will hate it. It's hard to explain you the beauty of Islam in one video, but I will just try. If someone needs to be forced to fast or forced to understand a religion, you can't change the heart. You can just make them practice what you practice, but that's not Islam. Islam is something which is in your heart. The more you search for God, the more you realize that the world you are living, the people are going astray, the more you try to find the truth, the more you love Islam. It depends on your experience, on your life experience. Every prophet of God, no matter if Moses, Jesus, Noah,